I want to start off by saying that I'm sorry if my voice sounds off. I am currently sick. I currently have a fever, but I'll try to get through this as fast as possible. Free education for all is one of the best things that the US provides to its people. No matter your economic background, any child can get a K to 12 education. I'm certain that almost all of us have taken advantage of the free education to become someone better in life. But I'm also certain that almost all of us have seen how underfunded the education system really is. It doesn't just affect admin, it also affects students. I would like to advocate that we should focus on how school districts should be more funded. The main points that we'll be talking about today will be on higher funding, which allows for more staff to be hired. That way, classroom sizes are more even and teacher productivity increases. Also, be talking about increasing expenses per pupil will allow for better education for students that could be reflected on test scores. It will allow for services such as SEL programs, student and clubs. Sorry. The ideal classroom student to teacher ratio is 18 students or less. But according to Waldorf University, how budget cuts impact schools, school districts with lower funding, the teachers tend to. School districts that have lower funding have classroom sizes of 48 students. One teacher per 48, that's not a good thing. This allows for classrooms to grow bonds with the teacher and the students. But most importantly, not every student's different needs will be met, decreasing student performance. And this is because the teacher won't be able to go around student per student on where they're behind or anything sort of like that. Currently, the amount of money in the district receives depends on ADA. ADA stands for average daily attendance, which is then divided by amount of school days in a session. According to the California Department of Education, Fresno Unified receives $21,260 per pupil, otherwise known as students. Kerman, the city I live in, receives around 19,766 per pupil. That's a little bit. For a whole year, that isn't actually that much. Most of that money is never seen in classrooms or services. It is often used for other costs, such as teacher retirement or anything else that's not really necessary. Keeping in mind ADA in classroom sizes can lead to the next problem, which is lack of tutoring or outside clubs for the students to be in. By the end of the day, teachers are burnt out and not doing tutoring for a couple more bucks and almost not doing it for free is not worth it to many. Also, the lack of staff makes it difficult for students to receive additional resources, such as therapy, counseling, and things of that sort. Lack of funding can also decrease on the availability on getting equipment for more pricier activities such as STEM, robotics, or any other sport, or sports that require more money, such as football, which is why often the common form of extracurricular are sports. Sports. According to the Learning Policy Institute, the main reason why teachers left the workforce was because of low salaries. More importantly, around 67% of teachers said they would return if there was better salaries. So the first step would be increasing the district's budget. That way, they will be more willing to work in the workforce with higher pay. Increasing, I'm sorry, increasing the amount of money districts receive per students will also be helpful in this process such as ADA. Since California prioritizes students when it comes to budgeting, improving attendance could greatly help. And ways we can improve attendance is, according to the California Department of Education, identifying factors of chronic absenteeism, such as kids needing to work for their parents or babysitting their younger siblings, identifying who's in danger of chronic absenteeism, such as students who lack who lack wanting to go to school, and referring to those students to personnel such as nurses, school psychologists, or school counselors. Sorry. Finally, working with outside programs such as California Teaching Fellows Foundation, the program I work for, could help with supplying tutors to schools and areas such as EL, ELOP, extended learning opportunities. This is which is important on why districts need more funding. That way, they can be able to pay for those services. And it allows for teachers or personnel in the school to not carry more weight than they should, such as previously mentioning a teacher not being able to do tutoring because there was already enough, and dealing with students in the afternoon for a little bit of money is not worth it. It will allow for tasks to be evenly be split. With higher salaries, sorry, with higher salaries and budgets, as previously mentioned, teachers will be more willing to work in the workforce, but also helps with classroom ratios, going back to that ideal 18:1 classroom ratio. This is important so that way teachers could help an individual's needs without having to worry about not having to be able to worry about not being able to help every other student. It also allows for also allows for more personnel in classrooms to be built. Since ADA is a big factor in attendance and in budgeting, students will be more willing to go to school if they know they can be helped when they need it. With the teachers, they also won't be feeling left out. Also allowing for closing bonds. Once teachers don't feel the burden of doing regular school, then after school tutoring, they could be able to do clubs that they are interested in hosting, such as STEM or robotics. Or if a teacher just wants to call it late, but after school tutoring is still a thing at the school, then more personnel could be hired, such as after school tutors and other members to help with clubs. That way, kids could do clubs, sports, or any other activity. According to Wilson College, the benefits of extracurricular activities include areas such as developing social skills and physical health. But getting a getting a bigger budget possibly impacts on getting more personnel hired, such as librarians, psychologists, or counselors, or any other professional that may be needed. In conclusion, after reviewing, after reviewing these arguments, everyone could see why education could be benefited a lot if the budget increases, not only to teachers but also to students who are in the future of our generation. So it is important to increase school budgets. To restate my arguments, it will increase teacher salaries, leading to more productivity and better test scores and better one-to-one support with students. It will also allow for better attendance, since there will be more even classroom ratios, and more personnel such as psychologists could be hired to help kids with mental health problems or anything similar. Finally, it allows for more tutoring classes and club support. Once budgets increase, the education of our students will get better over time. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry again for my coughing.